And good morning, and welcome into the starting lineup. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. Fueled by Loco Coffee this morning, and whatever this green stuff is that Sean Crabtree gave to me last week. I'm finally giving it a try. Speaking of Sean, no Sean.
No Sean this morning?
This morning. But we've got Chewy back.
Good morning, Joe Abraham.
Good morning, my friend. How are you today?
I am real tired, but I'm
You're
glad.
here.
I wanted to squeeze in a morning show today.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here.
I missed you guys.
It's hard to run the show and then run the show, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I get you.
So I encourage you to get involved in today's show. You can always call into the show at 931-967-3500. You can also hit us up on the text line at 931-305-5611. Or, now is your chance. Head on over to the FMO Facebook feed because, yes, I did lose the bracket challenge. And not only did I lose, Chewy, I did so in perfection, is what I would like to say, because I made a couple of wagers with you and Johnny Hand, both of them predicated on me finishing in the top 10, and I finished in 11th.
Yeah.
But at least when I lose, I make it interesting.
Yeah.
I was one away.
That's kind of, it was almost comedic, like the way it was cosmically funny. You know what I mean?
For everybody except for me. So if you head on over to the FMO Facebook feed right now, you'll notice, well, Joe, where's your orange? Listen, some of this is because I wanted to make a big show of it for the show. Some of it is because I wanted to wear it as shortly as possible, but it's right here. And I'm going to put it on, and Chewy is going to take control of things for just a second.
Okay, well, Brett Crabtree is already in the chat. He said, hey, and also he says, don't put that on! But then Miss Stacy Eldridge is also here this morning saying, good morning, Miss Stacy. She says, glad you're back. I'm glad I'm back today, too. Katie says, Chewy Joe needs therapy after yesterday. Yeah, I heard. And then Brett says, you'll be winning by getting to wear that beautiful orange. You shouldn't get that privilege, she says. Hey, you know what? That doesn't look bad on your olive skin. That looks good. I think you can pull off orange pretty well. Orange is one of my favorite colors, obviously, but not even because it's Vols. It's just because I can see it.
All right, I'm back in the chair.
Lambo's jumped in as soon as you did. He says, Jim Grimes, shoulder day.
Shoulder day.
He could set a house on these shoulders. Stocky and cocky. Go thirsty Thursday. Jeez. Stacy says, Joe, you look amazing. I actually think you look pretty decent. I'm not even lying when I say that. That color looks pretty good on you.
Don't get used to it.
Okay.
All right, so today is also our final trivia day with Scotty over at the Oasis, at least until we make the conversion back to Mondays.
To where he's going to be going over to drafts, right?
Yeah, yep.
Dang.
On the 20th, I believe, is when they open up over there. It is a therapy Thursday, and even though Chewy and I are barely functioning adults, we're going to have some therapy this morning. And Katie mentioned it. After yesterday, I think we all need some therapy.
So Kira, hold on. The chat's is blowing up. Kira Porter says, that orange looks perfect. #GBO. And I don't know what that means. But
Go Big Orange.
Oh, go Big Orange.
Oh,
gotcha.
Gosh, she got me to say it, too. That's going to be clipped. Me in Tennessee Vol Orange saying what I just said.
So Kevin Relford says, Joe looks bigger in orange. And then
okay. Now we're talking.
Chad Powell says, a lot better than those nasty Bama colors. And then Lambo says, Tennessee Vols winning. That's hilarious. That orange is horrific. So we've got some conflict in the chat, but I think you look lovely.
Appreciate it. Appreciate all the opinions.
I'm just saying, not removed from the sports zeitgeist. Orange orange works with you.
Okay, appreciate it.
I'm an orange advocate.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the three colors that you could see.
Exactly. So. It's one of the only three colors where I see it and I know that's what that is, dog.
You know it's orange. All right, so Chewy, you were not here yesterday, and we got a chance. So part of this was good. I think part of it was bad. I got a chance to do the whole back and forth thing with Ricky Tips on a conversation regarding the situation that happened between Huntland and Franklin County. And I say between Huntland and Franklin County because those were the two high schools involved. But what it came across as yesterday was I was advocating for the position really of the county, of the district, but it came across as me protecting Franklin County and advocating for Franklin County and protecting their interests, and Ricky protecting and advocating for Huntland. And that was... I thought that it would be a good thing going into it because I considered, well, both sides would feel represented. I'm not hiding from a conversation with somebody who's very passionate in regards to Huntland. But what it did was it kind of accomplished the one thing that I was hoping that it wouldn't do, and that's kind of widen a divide or create a divide between the two sides of things. And even though it struck a nerve in the community and it got people talking about it, after reading through everything, I got to say this up front. For people who want to criticize me personally, you're right. You're right. I did not know what everybody involved ate for breakfast yesterday before I started the show. But I did not just jump on air and guess. People who are concerned about whether or not I did the work or did the research, Chewy, you know.
Yeah.
I talked to people. I asked questions. I looked at what I could verify, not what was speculation. And there is a lot more that I could have said, a lot more. And if you think that you know more than me in this situation, I just want to say this to start off. You're sadly mistaken. I have all of the information relevant to this state inquiry. I have the email trail, I have every letter, I have every signature, and I have statements from everybody except for the coach involved. And the reason I did not have statements from that specific coach is because I had the evidence and I spoke to the AD of the program. But I had all of the relevant evidence and information that I needed for both sides to talk about this yesterday. And in fact, per Ricky's own admission, he hadn't really talked to anybody. But the point is this. I'm going to start off the show by saying the point is this, guys. I personally made the decision not to go there. This is not about winning an argument. Let me say that again. This whole conversation is not about winning an argument. It wasn't about putting a coach on blast. Newsflash, I did not say his name. That was not me. It was about asking a simple question, which I tried to ask multiple times. And again, people are going to jump into chat this morning, and they're going to get upset, and they're going to say, is there a better way for us to do we have to do this on air? Do we have to? Yes, we do. The whole point is that we need to talk about this stuff. You think that I'm dividing our county? I'm not dividing our county. This divide has been under the surface boiling years and years. You cannot tell me that this is a Joe divide, that I created this divide. But what happened after the show proved exactly why asking the questions we did and having the conversations we did yesterday matters. Because the second the conversations started, the second even Ricky and I jumped on air and started talking about this, because it's in the fabric of the community and we have got to figure out a way to get this stain out, is that it turned into an us versus them, one side versus the other, everybody taking sides. And that is the problem. That's what I was trying to say yesterday, guys. The whole problem with the way that the investigation, the inquiry happened, in my opinion, is that it was not handled as a family would handle something. And we are a district family. We are a county family. And there was somebody who posted on the Facebook post that I made to preview today's show. And she used the word double standard. Well, isn't that a double standard if we treat something in this county between Huntland and Franklin County differently than if we were to treat it if it happened and Coffee County did it or Tullahoma did it? You're damn right it's a double standard. And you guys should be freaking proud to stand up together and link arms together and be stronger together and work together to support one another. There can be competitiveness and all of that between each other, but we live and work together. We are neighbors. We go to church together. And the whole point of the conversation yesterday wasn't supposed to be about one side versus the other. And that's on me. That's my fault. I allowed it to devolve into that quickly. But despite the nastiness that targeted me personally or whatever, that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my intention. My goal was to talk about the process, not the people. How many times yesterday did I say, forget the shade of blue that you're wearing today? Please, for a second, I know that you're passionate about it. I know that you've got family involved in it. I know that you've got friends involved in it. And that's exactly my point. You've got family and friends on both sides. We are not siloed from one another. We are trapped in this, whether you like it or not, together under one district umbrella. But stop for just a second and breathe. Because the second that this becomes about the individuals rather than the collective, we lose the ability to fix anything going forward. So take a step back and think about, is there a better way of handling this? And no, I'm not going to back off of it. I do care about the county. I do care about the district. My intention is ironically exactly the opposite of what a lot of people tried to accuse me of yesterday. You're trying to create drama and rip the county apart. No, what I'm trying to do is make sure that this is not buried like so many things in this county are. Stop me if I am lying. But there is a narrative on both sides of this thing. Huntland people have a opinion of Winchester and Franklin County people, rebels, and on the flip side, the Franklin County rebel community has an opinion on Huntland. Stop me if I'm lying, because if you go on the comments yesterday, you will see it clear as day. And it's not a silly, friendly kind of rivalry. It gets nasty. So you shouldn't want this buried. You don't heal something by covering it up. You heal it by cleaning it out. And I'm not saying that I can fix this. I'm not saying that it can get fixed overnight. What I'm saying is we have, and it's picking up steam. Infinitely, this is one of those things that because of social media, the vitriol that flies around on social media, something that was a silly thing that the old guys used to talk about at the gas station table on Saturday mornings. Oh, you see what they're doing down in Huntland? Something that used to be that. Oh, did you see what they're doing up in Winchester? That goofy ribbing back and forth between the old men at the table. Now everybody is doing it on social media. And everybody's doing it around the community. And it's not silly anymore, especially when it involves the district, it involves our education system, it involves our athletics, but most importantly, when it involves our kids. There is no difference between this type of behavior and some other type of nasty discrimination against a group of people. But what's worse is this is us. This is our own people. In the same county, in the same district. It's not about an individual. It's about the district as a whole. Look at it from that perspective. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we're going to debride the wound. And I'm going to tell you what that means. People who have ever been in and around wound care have heard the term debride the wound. It's not a fun process. I'm going to explain it to you when we come back. You might want to finish your breakfast now. It is the starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee on ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Every child deserves a safe place to grow. When substance misuse enters a home, children can face neglect and lasting trauma. The Drug Endangered Children's Initiative in Franklin County brings together schools, first responders, and community partners to identify risks early and protect our most vulnerable. It's not about blame, it's about protection. And when we stand up for our children, we are stronger together. Learn more at fcpctn.org/DEC. This project is funded under a grant contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at fmotn.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
We are looking forward to an absolutely beautiful day today. Sunny with a high of 74 degrees. Southeast winds coming in at around 5 miles per hour with some up at 15. It's going to be absolutely beautiful summertime weather, so get out there and enjoy it while you enjoy ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069.
Hey folks, I'm Johnny Hand from WCDT, the home for Franklin County Athletics. From Friday night football to every big game in between, we're proud to bring you all the action that keeps our community cheering. Want to be part of that excitement? We'd love to talk with you about advertising and other great opportunities to support our local athletes. So give us a call today at 931-967-2201 or stop by the station at 1201 South College Street right here in Winchester. WCDT Winchester. We are Franklin County.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I'm not going to name people in the chat because, again, it's not what this is about. But there was a post that says you literally put blue on blue or blue versus blue in your ad before you went on air. So how else are we supposed to take your intentions on this? Yes, I did. So fratricide and blue on blue is a military term that basically means an attack on your own guys. It's you got two military groups that are in the same area, that are on the same team, and there is a disconnect. Fratricide is when you kill your brother. That's what the word means. Blue on blue is a military term that essentially means that you're shooting at your own guys. That's my point in all of this. We are shooting at our brother. We're firing at our own brother. So yes, I use the term because anybody who has a military background will tell you that is the worst sin that you can commit. But we're going to stay in this. This is a wound that is in the community that did not start yesterday. It's been here for a long time. And the reality is we've got two options here. When something like this shows up, we can either cover it up like has been done always, ever, forever and ever and ever. We just brush it under the rug, move on. That's the way it is between Huntland and Franklin County. Or we can clean it out. Cover it up, that's easy. You ignore it, You protect both sides. Everybody does this. Everybody comes together. Everybody blames the other side. And we all move on like nothing happened. That's us protecting our own. And that's how we get to where we get to. People in Franklin County reference the folks from Huntland in a certain way. This is not me coming up with this, but I've heard words like cult, and they're in their own bubble, and they live in their own world, and they're very protective. You know why the people of Huntland are very protective and are like that, in my opinion? Is because they're the only ones that have ever looked out for themselves. They've never had somebody to speak up for them. They've never had anybody to look out for their interests. And so what they have done is they have protected their own, and they have said, we are not going to let anybody come in and destroy our community, affect our community. And I admire them for protecting themselves in that way. But what I am saying is I want to take that mentality and apply it to the district the same way that we want to protect what is in our best interest. We should be doing that as a community for all of the kids of this county. Stop blaming the other side. Stop moving on. Stop acting like nothing happened. You know how many freaking crazy messages I got yesterday? A lot. But at the core of them all, guys, underneath all of that, you know what was underneath all of the crazy messages that I got? All of the wild, emotional things that I got, the hate that I got, all of the anger was hurt. Underneath all of that was just hurt. We want our kids to have the same type of recognition, all of these things. We don't get the same funding, and that's a part of the divide. And we don't fix the hurt by continuing to pile onto it. My goal today is not to continue to pile onto it. My goal is, if you want access to the funding and access to the voice within the district and at those meetings, if you want to be a part of it, and you're Huntland, you've got only one choice. We work together. If you don't, then this is fine. This quote-unquote fracture, this chasm, this whole thing, if you don't want to have better facilities, if you don't want to be advocated for, if you want to stay in your bubble as long as you can, that's fine. But it's this gap between us as a community is only going to continue to widen. And the hurt is only going to get deeper. And the people who are going to suffer is just the next generation of kids. Cleaning it out is uncomfortable. It means you got to look at it honestly. These are things, the things that I'm saying are things that I hear people joke about in side rooms and back rooms and side hallways and things like that. We don't talk about this stuff. This is Franklin County. This is Southern Middle Tennessee. Cleaning it out, though, means that we got to admit, guys, when things aren't right. And my faith is a huge part of everything that I do. And I see this, and I think about, would I treat someone of my congregation this way? Would I say these things about somebody within my congregation? Would I say these things about somebody who is also within the same, within the church, within God's family? Would I say these things about people that are within my own family? And would I say and treat people within my own county this way? No. Guys, the answer is no. And I'm not asking for everybody to sit around a campfire and sing Kumbaya. There is a competitive nature between the two schools. Ironically, one is a 1A school, the other is not. It's not like they compete on the field. But to debride the wound, we got to stop protecting individuals and start fixing problems. And I'm not saying that what happened yesterday or the day before or the day before or the day before or 10 years ago can be gone back and fixed. And I'm not saying that it was wrong. And I'm not saying that what I'm saying is all we can do is affect how we act today and tomorrow and the next day and the next. We can only affect the future. So if we want to make a change and start working towards something better, then yes, we need to address the processes. And this is part of it. It's the only way that something heals. What I saw yesterday, what I'm still seeing, is people concerned with defending a side. Fixing what caused the issue in the first place, which is that divide. If that's where we stay, this is going to keep happening over and over and over again, and it's only going to get worse. That's my point. If we don't fix the core root issue, then this type of stuff is only going to happen more. Period. End of story. So yesterday I got a ton of messages from folks in Huntland. A lot. I mean a lot. Some of them were not really very friendly. Some of them are angry. Some of them were nasty. I mentioned that. And that's fine. I can handle that, guys. But what stood out to me, I mentioned this, is that once you get past the frustration and all that, it was that hurt. Not because, it wasn't hurt because I said anything that I said. It wasn't hurt because somebody's feelings got bruised. It was deeper than that. It was pride. It was Huntland's pride in their community, for their school, for their kids, for their way of life, for all of that. But the things that I kept hearing, I mentioned this. We take care of our own. We don't need anything. We're fine. That's the sense that I get from Huntland. But underneath that was also this layer of our kids don't get the same attention, and there's upset about that. Their kids don't get the same recognition. Their kids don't get the same opportunities. Their kids don't get the same funding as other kids in the district. And that's real. I'm not saying that it's not. And whether people want to admit it or not, it's been sitting there for a long time. And this is what's at the core of this. But you know what doesn't make it better? Attacking one another. And if there's an opportunity to avoid attacking one another, that's the path that I want us to take as a community. Am I wrong for that? We're not going to fix it by picking sides and yelling at each other. I tried to have that conversation yesterday with Ricky, and immediately, because it's so ingrained in us. We fix it by listening, by acknowledging it, by having a conversation and deciding, straight up, just deciding, do we want to be better than this? Ask yourself, do you want to be better? Do you want what's better for your kids? Do you want what's better for Huntland? Do you want what's better for Franklin County? Do you want what's better for the Franklin County School District? Same kids, same district, same responsibility. It's not drama. It's getting healthier. So, yeah, people were mad yesterday, and people are going to be mad today. I want something more important than that, something bigger than that, than just an emotional thing. I was angry. And you know why I was angry? I wasn't angry because Franklin County got attacked. What I was angry at was the butting of heads within the district, the attack within the district. That's what made me angry. The blue on blue made me angry. I'm not saying this is, and this needs to continue being something where we're fighting against each other. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, hey, everybody, get your pickaxes and come outside. That's not what I want. What I'm saying is lay them down. What are we doing? You're damn right. There is a difference between whether or not it comes from outside the county or whether or not it comes from inside. Yes. Period. Debriding a wound is, if you've ever fallen off your bike as a kid and you get the rocks all up in it, or if you've ever heard of a diabetic wound or some of these other things, you've got diabetics who live in really bad living conditions. What they do is, and maybe it's not a bad living condition, but they've got these, their neuropathy on their feet, and they'll step on something and they'll cut their foot and they can't feel it. They don't realize that they've got a cut or an infection, and the bacteria gets in and it grows and it festers and it kills the skin and it starts to stink and smell and disease the whole foot. And when that happens, you've got one of two options. You can either go in and debride the wound and get the blood flow back to it. And what that looks like is cutting out all the dead skin, the dead tissue, and getting down to the nasty and getting down to where it bleeds. And once the blood flow is able to reach that wound, now it can heal. The other option is you cut it off completely. So, my point is, let's debride, not amputate. How do we move forward? Everybody wants to make it about the individuals, the people. Who did what? Who's right? Who's wrong? What side are you on? Wrong conversation, guys. Wrong conversation. We had that conversation. Look how it turned out. For all the people who want to say, well, you didn't do your research, you don't understand the rules. Yeah, I did my research. I read the TSSAA bylaws. I read them on homeschool. I read them in general. I contacted the people involved, aside from the coach. And let me say this. There is not a line in there that says that you need to handle it internally first. There's not. But what there is a reference to eligibility being handled at the school level. Parents notifying the principal, participation is controlled by the school. It does not say it in there that it needs to be handled internally first. But the entire structure of the rule book is built to be handled at the school level first before going to the state. The TSSAA is not designed to be the first phone call. It's designed to step in when something should rise to that level. Now, in this case, the question is, because of the structure of our district, because of the nature of our district, the organization of where we've got our athletic director as the county, the athletic directors with the school, all of that, did they feel like they could trust that process to work? If not, then it's broken, guys. That's my point. Something is broken within the process. Because my guess is, if you were to contact Dr. Alsip right now and ask him, Dr. Alsip, in a case like this where there's question about, and I'm not going to put words into his mouth, I'm going to speculate on this. If you were to ask him right now, if there is a question about somebody's eligibility, what should the process look like? And he would describe it to you as starting with in the school, rising up, if we're talking about two schools within the district, rising up through the district office and solving it there before the emergency situation of taking it to the state. I've also done my research, and what I have discovered or have not discovered is we currently don't not that anybody that I have talked to within the district, we currently do not have a policy on how to handle something like this. Which is exactly my point. I didn't say that it was handled wrong by the coach as far as the rules are laid out. My opinion is that it was wrong the way that it was handled by what we want the outcome to be as a community. Or at least what we should want the outcome to be as a community. If it's about being fair, I'm all for coaches protecting themselves, protecting their teams, protecting their community. I'm all for that. Making sure that there's not recruiting, all of those things. Let me put it this way. If a coach from outside the district comes in and is recruiting and trying to pull kids out of Franklin County, that should be handled on a nuclear level. If a coach is trying to pull a kid out of Franklin County, out of our school district, that should be handled on a nuclear level. 100%. But what if it's a coach at Huntland or at Franklin County and they're trying to pull players away from one another? Well, how do we handle that? Do you want us to go nuclear on each other? Or do you want us to call that coach into the district office with the other coach and say, guys, I know it's competitive. I know you want to win. But this is against the rules, and if you get caught doing this beyond what we can control, it's going to be very, very bad, and we need to cut it off now. We need to stop it now. We need to protect our community from putting itself in a position, in a compromised position. And anything that you guys can do to that end needs to be done. And that should happen behind closed doors, between the coaches, between the district, and then that be the end of it. That's my opinion. Mitigate the fallout as much as possible. I'm not saying that the person didn't have a right to raise a concern. It's about how we handle it and the impact of the decision, guys. All right. We're going to pause here because we are going to go out to Scotty over at the Oasis. It is time for trivia this morning. And if you have not ever had a chance to go out to participate in trivia with Scotty at the Oasis, I encourage you. Tonight's the last night of the season.
Oasis Steakhouse.
There he is. How are you, my friend?
Good morning. How are y'all?
We're doing pretty well. So tonight's the night, huh?
Today's the last day until October of this coming up year. So we'll be back in the fall.
So you guys having trivia tonight?
We are having trivia tonight starting at 6:30. We will have our last lunch buffet for the season today, and we're going to be doing our fried catfish and chicken and dressing today.
So if people are interested in participating in trivia for the first time, tonight would be an interesting night to do it because after tonight, when you guys move over to Drafts and Watercrafts, it's going to move to Monday night.
It will. Our first trivia night will be April the 27th. It will be our first trivia.
Now, if folks have the answer to today's trivia question, what will they win? And it sounds like they've got to redeem it today.
They will. If they win, they will win a free lunch buffet that they redeem today. And, like I said, we use our fried catfish on Fridays. And that's such a popular day. I figured we would do two of our most popular dishes, doing our fried catfish and chicken and dressing today.
Oh, geez. I don't know which one Katie's going to pick.
You better tell Katie to get up here.
Yeah. All All right, my friend. So folks who are interested in winning a lunch buffet, they can type this number into their phone, 931-967-3500. That's 931-967-3500. And you said the 20th. This will be the first or the last time that we talk to you in a little while. So
Yeah.
as the season opens up, why don't you preview what's coming to Drafts and Watercrafts this season?
Well, our first day is April the 20th, and that's a Monday, and we'll be open the entire week. Already got lined up entertainment for that coming up weekend. We'll have some live music Friday and Saturday nights. We'll be open 7 days a week. We open, like I said, on the weekends, we're open till 11 o'clock on Fridays and Saturdays. We're open all day Sundays and every day during the week. We do open up at 11 a.m. every day, serve lunch and dinner. And starting in May, we're going to do our breakfast again. We'll be opening for breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays. Going to have live entertainment.
I love that.
7 days a week down at Drafts and Watercrafts.
That's tremendous. All right, brother, one last time. I'm going to give them the number, 931-967-3500. What do you got for trivia for us this morning?
Let's do a Masters question this morning.
Ooh, we haven't even, I've been so off the rails. We haven't even talked about the Masters, which is getting started today. Technically, the par 3 contest was yesterday, but yeah. All right, go for it.
All right. Who is the only player to lose the Masters in a playoff twice?
I think I know the answer to this.
Who is the only player to lose the Masters in a playoff twice?
Again, the number is 931-967-3500. If you know the answer and you call in, you will win a lunch buffet, which is redeemable today over at the Oasis. Also, the answer of this question is going to be one of the questions tonight over at the Oasis as well. And we've got a caller now. So, caller, what's your guess?
Is it Phil Mickelson?
No.
It's not Phil Mickelson.
All right, thanks.
That was my guess.
We don't have the mayor here today?
He's not here today. He's been very, very busy as of late. I think he I don't think he likes me anymore. He says he loves me. He says it's not that, but I think I must have offended him or something. So again, the only player to have lost the Masters twice in a playoff. And Mickelson was my guess. There was a time where he just could not, he could not close the deal, right? And that's the immediate one that came to my mind. Again,
that's when
Go ahead.
That's when I used to watch a lot of golf.
Yeah,
back when it's Mickelson and Tiger.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yeah, it was really good. All right, caller, what's your guess?
Greg Norman.
That's correct.
Got him. All right, caller, what's your name?
Well, it's my husband and guest at Mitch Crabtree.
Okay, Mitch Crabtree. Congratulations to Mitch.
Thank you.
You guys,
we know Mitch would know it.
You guys have won the lunch buffet. It's only for one though, so he's gonna have to buy the other one.
That's okay.
Congratulations, guys! You got to redeem it today because it's the last day, right?
Okay, we will. Right. Thank you.
All righty. Yeah, Greg Norman. He famously never won a. I don't think he ever won a. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not the Masters. He never won the big ones.
The big championship.
Yeah, he never won one of the big. I can't remember the word off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, all right, Scotty. aside from all that, tell people where they can, if they have never experienced what is Drafts and Watercrafts going forward, where they'll be able to find you. For folks who may be new to the area or, I don't know, they may be listening to the show for the first time or they live under a rock, where is Drafts and Watercrafts and how can they find that restaurant? Because it's not in a traditional place.
We're located less than 2 miles off the square.
Yeah.
So we're right here in Winchester. We're located at Twin Creeks Marina. We are also a floating restaurant, so we're floating out in Thames Ford Lake.
There it is.
And so if you'd like to come out and see us, the address is 91 Slipaway here in Winchester, Twin Creeks Marina. If you don't use your GPS, we're located there right off of Lynchburg Highway. So and we have a lot of people ask us, can the public come? You know, you can access us by water, or you can access us by your car. You know, coming right up by Dry Creek Beach, and we're located in behind the Twin Creeks subdivision, the resort there. We're located in behind them. So
the only player or not the only player, but he didn't win a major. That's the word I was looking for. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you, and we will talk to you in a couple of weeks. And again, if you're driving around town and you're like, man, where's this drafts and watercrafts that they're talking about that I've never seen? Yeah, it's because it's on the lake. That's where it is.
That's right.
We will talk to you soon, my friend.
All right. Y'all have a good day, and we'll talk to y'all. Thanks.
Right. That is Scotty over at the Oasis. No, I was reading. I made the mistake of getting distracted and reading comments as he was talking, and I completely spaced. Jim Sanders says, sadly, the coach was never contacted and give a chance to, quote, share his view. Guess that didn't fit your narrative. It's not about, again, that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about the process. It's not about the coach's narrative. Again, stop trying to make it about the individual. It is about the process. B, on the flip side of that, I talked to everybody else involved, and I have the information from the state regarding the coach. There is no narrative needed. There's no narrative needed. I have the emails. I have what was said. So I get it. You keep wanting to try and make it about one versus the other. Stop. Stop. It's not about that. And again, I didn't ever say, ironically enough, people want to put me on blast for saying the coach's name yesterday. Guess what? Wasn't me. I never went down that road because that's not the point, guys. Stop. The point is, can we do this better? And we can. We can protect the district better. We can be better together. And thank you to Kevin Relford for also jumping in the chat and saying major. All right. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 1 on the other side. I don't think that I'm way off base. Maybe I am. Maybe it's a pipe dream to think that we can work better. Guys, we're separate schools. We're always going to be separate schools, right? I'm not saying that it's going to look perfect. What I'm saying is it can be better. It is a starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee, ESPN Radio 1340, 1069, WCDT Winchester.
In honor of April being National Poetry Month, I've prepared a little something for you all. Welcome to the month that's known for its showers. 30 days from now, it will all turn to flowers. But if you're looking for a little more green between now and then, stop by your local lottery retailer for a chance at a win. With new instant games and prizes up to $500K, game-changing fun could be headed your way. This was a message from the Tennessee Lottery. Please do your best to play responsibly.
The starting lineup with Joe and Chewy is presented by Loco in Winchester. Right here in Winchester, Loco is doing things their own way. From locally roasted Loco coffee to a one-of-a-kind shop experience. It's a place that's built for the Franklin County community. So if you haven't stopped by yet, now's the time. Support local. Drink Loco coffee, fueling Franklin County mornings. Roasted right here in Franklin County. And don't forget to tune into the starting lineup, weekdays from 7 to 9. Around here, people take pride in their property, and Flagship Lawn Services does too. They offer reliable mowing, trimming, mulch, and cleanups at a price that makes sense. And with the Flagship Finish Guarantee, they don't leave until it looks right. No shortcuts, no hassle. Just a yard that looks the way it should. And that's quality you can trust. Call or text Flagship Lawn Services today at 239-849-4033 and get your yard looking its best this spring.
It's time for a local news break. from the 931 Go News Center.
The FCHS Rebel Pride Band is inviting the community to its spring concert on Thursday, April 9th at 6 p.m. in the Franklin County High School Auditorium. This free concert will feature student musicians showcasing their hard work and preparation from the spring semester. Donations will be accepted at the door to support the band program. Community members are encouraged to attend and support the talented students as they take the stage for an evening of music. In other school news, Franklin County Schools are celebrating Assistant Principal Appreciation Week. District leaders are recognizing assistant principals across the middle schools, high school, and Huntland for their daily commitment to students and staff. Honorees include Dr. K and Mr. Davis at North Middle, Mr. Dawson at South Middle, Miss Spray and Mr. Carr at Huntland, and Mr. Cowan, Mr. Gilmore, and Mr. Conroy at Franklin County High School. Officials say assistant principals play a vital role in supporting instruction, maintaining school culture, and ensuring student success. Meanwhile, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is continuing to warn residents about ongoing scams targeting our community. Officials report an increase in phone calls and text messages claiming to be from law enforcement or government agencies. Scammers may threaten arrest for missed jury duty, unpaid fines, warrants, or traffic violations and demand immediate payment. The Sheriff's Office reminds residents that deputies will never call and request money. Citizens are urged not to share personal or banking information, not to send money under pressure, and to be cautious of anyone demanding urgent or confidential action. Anyone who believes they may have been targeted by a scam is encouraged to contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Authorities also ask residents to share scam alerts to help protect others in the community. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When our local athletes give it their all, Domino's is here to refuel the team. Swing by Domino's on South College and build your own pizza with any toppings for just $9.99 each. After the game, feed the whole squad. Grab a medium 2-topping Parmesan stuffed crust pizza, bread bites, and dips for $17.99. Or go big with 2 large pizzas and bread bites for $24.99. Quick combos, cold drinks, and deals starting at $5.99. At 668 South College Street, Domino's is proud to support our local athletes on and off the field.
All right, back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio, 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester. And for folks jumping in the chat and getting involved in the show, I really do appreciate it because I think that it's important. It's important conversations to have that help us get better as a community. Whether it's easy or not, and whether you like me or not, that's not the problem. I as an individual, I don't care. I got a lot of people that don't like me. It's fine. What I would also like to say is, there are people in the chat who I disagree with on a lot of things. There are people whose names that I see pop up, and every time I see a comment from them, I'm like, ugh. But what's funny about it is that there are also people in the chat who I disagree with a lot, and we have found common ground on certain things. Some of the people that come to mind, Kevin, who I just mentioned in the last, Relford, he and I disagree on a lot of things based on his comments that I see. And then there's a lot of things that we agree on. And that's the point. Let's have the conversation. We don't need to get butthurt about it. We have the conversation.
Well, disagreeing is also not a negative thing.
No.
It's not not inherently negative.
No,
And it's useful and helpful for a conversation to have multiple angles.
And there are people who, again, within the chat are speaking up in regards to Huntland, and they're explaining their point of view. Yeah, we have always had to be defensive and protective of our own and all of that type of stuff. And I totally respect that. I agree, and I understand why. Based on what's been explained to me, I completely understand it. And it's not, I don't have any problem with that. You guys are a proud community. You should be proud. So the point of this whole conversation, and we're going to wrap up this for today. In hour number 2, we've got some guests coming in. Miss Sherry Sons is going to tell us about an event that's coming up. We may have a few minutes to talk about it after the top of the hour. But pretty much we're going to go from Miss Sherry to, then we've got the ladies from Decisions, Choices, and Options coming in as well. That's Miss Kelly Payne and Miss Christy Shaw are going to be in towards the back half of hour number 2. If you've got kids in school, which most of you probably do, if you're listening to this episode, and you're interested in one of the things that is affecting them, something that is important to them, Decisions, Choices, and Options. You're going to want to tune in for that conversation and hear what's being talked about. Now, I am not saying that we can, again, fix the fact. They're two different schools, two different communities. Okay? That's not the point of this conversation today. What happened, for people who are wondering, there was a young lady who went to one of the schools, sat out a year. After her freshman year, she sat out her sophomore year, came back her junior year, is playing for the other school. She lives in an area that is technically zoned for the first school that she was attending. Then, when she transferred to the other school and started attending there, school year started, she started playing baseball or softball for the other team. We get about halfway through the year. The question is raised regarding her eligibility. It goes through TSSAA, an email sent to the state. Comes back, the school AD, the countywide AD, and the director of schools all sign off on it and say, yes, there is a school bus route that covers that young lady's home. It's a little bit different as a homeschool kid, but what it comes down to in this case is there is a school bus that goes by her house for the school that she is currently attending. So, that is, in my opinion, a question that if the coach from the first school had communicated that question to the district, they would have gotten that clarity on a district level. Notice I'm not naming schools here, guys. That, again, even yesterday, wasn't necessarily part of the plan. My point is, it doesn't matter. You flip sides, it doesn't matter. It's still Huntland v. Franklin County, and that's what I want to get rid of. But the problem isn't necessarily that we can address, isn't necessarily the schools and the colors and all that type of stuff. The problem that we can address is the process. Let's come up with a process. Take a break here and be back with hour number 2 on the other side. It is a starting lineup fueled by Loco Coffee on ESPN Radio 1340, 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Need a quick checkup or urgent care? Look no further than Complete Express Care in Winchester. Our expert medical team is here to provide fast, reliable care when you need it most. From minor illnesses and injuries to lab tests and x-rays. No appointment necessary. Visit us today at 1211 Dinah Shore Boulevard in Winchester or call us at 931-967-6669. Complete Express Care. Your health, our priority.
Located at 108 Memorial Drive in Winchester, Oaklawn Baptist Church is a place where families grow, faith is strengthened, and students are encouraged to live with purpose, which is why we're proud to sponsor the Rebel Report. Our mission is simple: introduce people to Jesus and build strong families through God's Word. Join us this weekend for Sunday school at 10 and worship to follow at 11. Learn more online at oaklawnbaptistchurch.org.
Party to plan. Skip the stress and rent it instead at Reliable Rental in Winchester. From tools and heavy-duty machines to chairs, tables, and event essentials, they've got what you need to get the job done right. Whether it's work or a weekend celebration, Reliable Rental makes it easy. Stop by 2433 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or check out everything they offer online at ReliableRentalFC.com. Reliable Rental. When you need it, they've got it.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN Radio Winchester studio, it's the starting lineup. Now, here are your hosts, Joe Abraham and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester, as we take a moment here in just a second. The kids from Deckard are going to call in with the Pledge of Allegiance, which is presented each and every day on ESPN Radio by the folks over at Southern Tennessee Cardiology and Dr. Basaraba. Oh, and there they are.
Good morning, Deckard.
Good morning, WCDT.
How are you guys this morning?
Oh, we are fantastic this morning. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing fine. I think we could use a really good pledge, though, this morning to start off our Thursday right.
All righty, we've got second graders from Miss Kaylee's class ready to make that happen.
All right, let's hear it.
Good morning, Franklin County. Please join Deckard Elementary as we
stand, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Absolutely wonderful pledge this morning. Thank you, guys.
All right, we fired up this morning. All right, come on up. You're going to say it loud and proud right here in this camera. Oh, sorry. Oh, there we go.
My name is LaRon, and I have the joke.
Okay.
Why did Mickey Mouse become an astronaut?
I don't know.
So he can visit Pluto.
Very cute.
Good one.
That was a cute one. Well, thank you so much, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day out there, okay?
Y'all too. Thank you.
See ya.
Pluto, Chewy.
That's a cute one. I
Not
like that.
a planet, apparently.
It's not. It's a dwarf planet.
Okay, before we get to Miss Sherry, I want to wrap this whole conversation up with one last thought, okay, guys? I don't want to just like cut out at the end of the hour. I just want to say this. This is a problem that's not going to be fixed overnight, and it starts with the process. We can fix the process. That's my goal. What do we want the process to look like? Okay? But it's also not just about the policy of this whole thing, how the school district handles it. It's not just about that. This isn't us versus them mentality. This mindset has been in the county for a long time. And we keep calling it a rivalry, but it's not. It's a divide. It's a divide in the community. And if something happens, we got to stop asking ourselves, which side are we on? We're on the Franklin County School District side. One district, guys. One county. But we don't act like it. And that's what I would encourage you guys to start looking at things through this lens when you talk about these two schools. We can have the rivalry. Let's eliminate the divide. Okay? All right. Enough of that for today. Thankfully, we have a shining face in studio with us this morning to wash that taste out of our mouth. Miss Sherry, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you this morning?
I am tremendous. Now, for folks who may be wondering, we have been promoting an event that is coming up in the breaks on the show, and you, my friend, are a very big part of that event, and I'm glad that we have you in studio to talk about it this morning. But tell folks why you're here today.
Well, I wanted to come on the air and talk a little bit more about our event. It's Pack the Park Car Club. It is our 15th semi-annual spring show. We will do something big in the fall to celebrate our 15th annual. We started this as a family event back 15 years ago with a few of our family members to help a local outreach ministry.
Right.
And then we had a few people that come that's like, well, you're always packing the park out, so why don't you just form a club? So that's how we got our name, was Pack the Park. And we turned it into a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Right.
So that way we are able to donate money out. Everything we take in is tax deductible, which is wonderful. We have helped over the years different families that have been in abusive situations. There's been some that have been homeless. We've helped when there have been like major floods. I believe it was Louisiana had some floods.
Yeah.
Recently, we helped Deckard and First Baptist Church had a food drive. We donated to that. We do help 4 schools. So through our car shows, we help Deckard Elementary, North Middle, the high school, and we added Clark Memorial this year. And what we do through that is we work with the guidance counselors to identify the children that are in need, that have special need. Now, we never know what students are in need. We let the guidance counselors handle all that.
Right.
That way, if they need clothes, they need school supplies, they might need extra food, whatever they have need of, or if the counselors see there's extra needs that they can provide in the school to help more students, then whatever the school counselors feel that they can do with that money to stretch it further, they're more than welcome to do. Once we give it to them, that's on them. We just trust them to do whatever God lays on their heart to do.
Very cool. So the event is coming up this Sunday, April 12th.
Yes.
And it's going to be from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you can get done with church in the morning and head on over there and enjoy the day over there looking at some of the vehicles. And it'll wrap up in time for them to, or if you want to participate, but it'll wrap up in time for you to go to evening church as well.
Definitely.
But you guys have a lot of, on the flyer, you got a lot of different categories and all the different things. But what I see down at the bottom, which interests me more than anything, there's kettle corn that's going to be there, and that alone is reason enough to show up at this thing. But
Yes.
no, it's a good time, and for people who are familiar with the event, traditionally, you reference the name Pack the Park. Traditionally, it's been at the park, right on that main drag area where you can see it, it's visible, and all those things. But here in recent years, it's actually moved back behind the high school. Which is part of the reason why getting the word out and reminding folks is so important, because you got to be a little bit more deliberate. You can't just trust people to see it as they're going by and be like, "Ooh, let's pull in there." But that being said, behind the high school, which has, I'm sure, its own set of challenges, but also probably some things that are pretty good about it being over there as well. But that's the location of this thing.
It is. We started out with Hank Whittington Park in Deckard, moved to John L. Sanders Park, then went to Winchester City Park. The downfall with that is, there's construction going on this year right now. But if it rains, then you are flooded out and for a few days.
Yeah.
The good thing about the high school is they have this wonderful parking lot. If it rains, you're good to go. So that's what we like about that. So, and the school's been great to work with us last year. So, and we're enjoying having it there again this year. We have over 70 trophies to give out. Pretty much if you have wheels, bring it. We will find a category for your vehicle to fit in. We have a DJ that'll be playing a variety of music that'll be there. He's great. His name is Jeff. I forget his last name. I apologize. But he's a lot of fun. So he's just a blast. He's out of Unionville.
Okay, hold on, though. You said if it has wheels, then bring it. Now, Chewy, I know how you are about your Heelys. You cannot be your category in and of yourself, my friend.
So you're telling me I'm not allowed to sit in a parking spot, or at least put my Heelys in like a whole parking spot? See, yeah, don't stomp on my dreams, Joe Abraham.
For people who are like, what are Heelys? They're the sneakers with the wheels in them. Yeah.
Like I said, if it has wheels, bring it.
See? All right.
Look, we'll find a category. I mean, My
can
husband's
win
gone
the.
on here like rat rods. We'll find it. Hey, I'll put that under cool rat.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna say there's a rat rods category. You could be in the rusty termite category.
There we go.
I love how kind and gentle Joe is with me.
You missed yesterday. I got to break you back in.
That's
what
right.
I was
That's right.
gonna say. You wasn't here yesterday,
That's
so
right.
he's being gentle today.
This is what happens, right?
You're one day. But yeah, we have a whole lot of fun. We're going to have vendors that'll be there with a variety of items from like tumblers, wood items made from barrel staves.
Oh, cool.
A hat bar, some laser engraved items, jewelry, crochet items, 3D printed items.
Oh, Chewy will be there.
Yeah, you're speaking my language. Yeah.
Some are be like dragons. Some will be stuff that are made geared towards car guys and gals. Car freshie, wax melts, candles, different things like that. We're going to also be raising money for Blue Monarch this time, and we actually are going to have somebody there. And if you're not familiar with Blue Monarch, I wrote down a little bit about them, if it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. They are a residential women and children's home who are overcoming addiction and abuse and economic hardship. Since 2003, they have more than 1,000 women and 370 children. And their website is bluemonarch.org. They will be set up at the event, so if you want to know more about them, come on out, talk to them. They'll be glad to give you all their information and let you know about the needs that they have continuing throughout the year. I would like to give a shout out to our sponsors, because if it wasn't for sponsors, we definitely could not do our show, and I wouldn't be able to be on the radio. So, and I would like to thank y'all for this wonderful opportunity to be on the radio today, and a special that you guys have had. So to let small business owners, because I do events with Sherry, and so I really enjoy that. And I took advantage of that. So if you're a small business owner, you really need to get on here and hook up with Chewy and Joe and see what the specials are all about.
Thank you.
All right, so I want to thank Advance Auto in Deckard and Tullahoma, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Home Depot, Neil's Body Shop, Hall's Furniture, Winchester Auto Salvage, AutoZone, Deckard and Tullahoma, Citizens Community Bank, and HR&R, Portable Restrooms. So sponsors make a show like this possible because trophies are not cheap, and we try to keep our registration fees low. It's $20 for register for the first vehicle, $10 for the second. So if you have like somebody else wants to come in on whatever you call them, the Heelys, so then it'd be cheaper for like the second person. Dash plaques for the first 100 people that come and register.
We staple it right to Chewy's head.
There you go. We are not doing pre-registration this year. Last year we dealt with so many scammers online, and I just did not have the energy to fight with them this year. So we're just doing all the registration at the event.
Okay.
So, and it's open until 2. That way anybody that wants to come after church, you're good to go, and we're good for it. So we have 2 food trucks that'll be there. So just come on right after church, slide in, and you're good to go.
So what you're telling me is that people with their vehicle, they can just show up and get all the registration, all that type of stuff done when they pull in?
Yes.
Perfect. And if they've got questions about the show, or if they want to see the flyer, how can they find it online? Is it on Facebook somewhere, or where can they find more information about it?
It's on Facebook at Pack the Park Car Club.
Pack the Park Car Club. Okay.
And we have a website, but it's a Google site, and I can't tell you by heart
Well,
how to get there.
What we can
it's
do...
It's on the slide in the thing.
Okay.
So if someone wants to see it, they can pause the video and go and take a look at that.
Thank you, Chewy.
What we can also do is we'll share the full flyer back over to the Facebook page this morning, and that way people can see. Because there's like phone numbers on there if you've got questions about, different categories or other things like that. I'm not sure, or if you just want to talk to Miss Sherry specifically because you had a question about the show and all that. But speaking of, Doug Garrett jumped in and he says, Miss Sherry has been a great help over the years in getting Touchdown Against Cancer Car Show off the ground. He's very thankful for you.
Oh, he's so special to work with. So I really enjoy going to his show, and he's just a blessing to us as well.
Well, I think that this is a tremendous event. And again, the effort that you guys are putting in to support the community, you mentioned Blue Monarch, and then supporting the kids in the schools as well, and some of the challenges that are within the community. I think that this is a great way to do that, and people can go out to the high school and show their support and take a look at some cool cars. I am not like a wrench head myself or a car guy myself, but what's funny is that you don't need to with these things. And if you've got a kid, especially a son under the age of 10.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah.
Well, I say under the age of 10. When they get up to like 16 and they start wanting a car too, then. But no, if you've got a son, man, they love this stuff. My boys could spend all day looking at these things. A couple of years ago, one of them, Walter, was getting like permission to get in people's Corvettes and all this other stuff. We're taking pictures with him in front of the cars, and they love it. It's a really fun family event.
We actually have some of the girls that are getting some volunteer hours in, and one of the girls has a car that she brings sometimes. So, yeah, she's just as much into it as the boys are.
How did you get into it? So, I mean, are you big into cars, or how did you fall into putting together a car show?
I married somebody that was big into it.
Really?
We've been married 41 years. It'll be 42 years this year, and we've been going to shows we started going to Southern Wheels in Motion car shows like 30 years ago. I guess they're in their 30-something year. And Tim's Ford Region has been doing their show for 56 or 7 years.
Okay, so I just want to put this into perspective, how good a woman Miss Sherry is, okay? Now, Chewy, consider this. You collect dead things and put them in jars and all that type of thing.
Yes.
Now, imagine...
It's an art form.
Imagine if Tori then went around and not only just supported your hobby, but started putting, like, a dead things convention together, where now she's running a convention where people can come and look at all your dead things.
You hear that, Tori?
Or vice versa. Imagine... well, Katie's kind of already done this. I mean, she works at the radio station.
Right,
but imagine if all of a sudden she became such a big football fan that, I don't know, she started hosting a high school football combine or something like that. Yeah. Just saying, ladies. I mean, just throwing that out there.
I have a 1903 Olds replica.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. My husband built it for his cousin, and his cousin passed away, and then we bought it from his wife.
1903.
1903.
I've got a 1903 Wookiee replica.
And so right now, I went to Doug Garrett's show last year, and it's because it doesn't have a top on it. And I just kind of got a little bit too fast, and I blew the oil cap off of it.
Oh, boy.
And I saw as it went flying past my head, I'm like, well, I'm going to get in trouble when I get home with that one. So it's kind of sitting under the shed waiting to be fixed. So I think I'm going to have to be the one to fix that one.
Okay. Well, that's very, very interesting. Very cool.
And then my husband's got, I think it's a 72 or 73. He trades. And I can't keep up with what he's all the time telling me this is my last project. He's going to get me for calling him out on the radio for this. But he's always telling, this is my last project. And we're like, no, it's not. Yeah. It is not.
I get it. The guys who are in that realm, because I've got two brothers who are, one in particular, and every time he gets a new one, it's about 2 or 3 weeks before he's like, at least that's what it feels like. It's probably about a year, but it's only a few weeks, it feels like, before he's looking at his next, what am I going to trade this one for? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter. It's not about trading up or trading down. It's just about trading to something different and working on something different with him. And, it's very cool. And if folks are looking to, again, do something on their Sunday that's a little bit different this weekend, they can head on over to the high school in the back parking lot, again, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is the Pack the Park Car Club show. Semi-annual. This is the spring version.
Yes.
Tremendous stuff. Miss Sherry,
fun.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want folks to know?
I think that about covers it. I think so.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we will see you out there on Sunday, and hopefully, we'll see some of our listeners out there as well. We'll get a quick break in here and be back on the other side with decisions, choices, and options. Miss Kelly Payne and Christy Shaw coming up next. This is ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Spring is in the air, and so are fresh new savings at Furniture Merchandise Outlet, FMO, right here in Tullahoma. Ready to refresh your space? From living rooms and bedrooms to dining sets and mattresses, FMO has the styles you want at prices you'll love. No long waits, no sticker shock. Just take it home today. Visit them at 105 North Jackson Street in Tullahoma or browse anytime at FMOTN.com. Furniture Merchandise Outlet, where spring cleaning turns into a spring upgrade.
If you're competing with 3 other businesses in the same category, you're not advertising, you're fighting for attention. At ESPN Radio Winchester, our top partners don't outshout their competitors, they eliminate them through partnerships that offer category protection and exclusivity. Fewer competitors, stronger recall, better results. That's how local advertising is supposed to work. Learn how smart advertising creates a competitive advantage with ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
From the 931 Go Weather Center, it's time for an ESPN Radio Winchester weather update, presented by Bennett's Pharmacy.
We are looking forward to an absolutely beautiful day today. Sunny with a high of 74 degrees. Southeast winds coming in at around 5 miles per hour with some up at 15. It's going to be absolutely beautiful summertime weather, so get out there and enjoy it while you enjoy ESPN Radio Winchester 1340 1069.
Looking for more than just prescriptions? Bennett's Pharmacy in Winchester has it all. Grab a bite from our menu, browse our boutique for one-of-a-kind finds, and sip on a Bloody Marty that's worth talking about, all in one stop. Located at 1201 Dinah Shore Boulevard, Bennett's Pharmacy is your unexpected destination for great food, fun shopping, and so much more. Call us at 931-967-2777 or come see what everyone's raving about.
When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers. When life hits you hard, you need someone who will stand up and fight back for you. Andy Davis, attorney at law, serves Southern Middle Tennessee in personal injury, criminal defense, family law, bankruptcy, and more. Call today to set up your free consultation, where you'll get clear answers, honest guidance, and a plan built around your needs. Online at southerninjurylaw.com. This is an advertisement. Andy Davis, attorney at law, responsible for content. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than that of other lawyers.
The future of healthcare starts here. The Southern Tennessee Regional Health System, Winchester and Suwanee, are joining the High Point Health System with Ascension St. Thomas, a health network serving communities across the state. We're working together to expand access, improve clinical quality, and keep you close to home throughout your care journey. Your favorite providers aren't going anywhere. It's the same care you know and trust, now with a new name. High Point Health with Ascension St. Thomas. Learn more at highpointhealthsystem.com.
Here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. I am Joe Abraham. He is Chewy. And I encourage you to flip on over to the FMO Facebook feed if you get a chance. We've got decisions, choices, and options in studio with us. And you're probably wondering, what the heck is decisions, choices, and options? I've never heard of that before, or maybe you have, but you haven't had a chance to really dive into it, and we're going to this morning. We've got Miss Kelly Payne in studio alongside Miss Christy Shaw. Good morning, ladies. How are you both today?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, great.
I appreciate you taking the time to join us. We've been talking a lot here in the last couple of days about the school district, about things that affect local families and things like that. Sometimes uncomfortable conversations is what we like to have here on the show. And you ladies are very familiar with uncomfortable conversations.
We are the queens of uncomfortable conversations.
So if people are wondering and you want to become an expert on uncomfortable conversations, they give a seminar. No, I'm just joking. They don't actually. But so ladies, for people who are wondering, what is decisions, choices, and options, and why does this have anything to do with me? Explain for me in just kind of your elevator pitch, if you were to, what the program that you ladies are a part of is and what its goal is.
Okay, so Decisions, Choices, and Options, we are a nonprofit organization. We teach sexual risk avoidance to middle school and high school students, helping them understand healthy boundaries, healthy relationships in all walks of life, promoting abstinence as the best choice for optimal health, not just in marriage, not just in their relationships, but in all walks of life, helping them to understand the benefits of sexual abstinence, understanding that that's the only 100% way that we can guarantee that we don't have to experience an unexpected pregnancy or contract STDs. But it also has the benefit of a longer lasting, healthier marriage later with greater communication, greater stability, greater intimacy with our spouses. And we've learned over the years that students who are choosing abstinence, they're oftentimes healthier overall. They have higher self-esteem. They have a greater chance of going to college and pursuing goals and dreams and career choices without necessarily having to worry about what those negative consequences of engaging in sexual activity would cause them. And so Christy and I, we have the opportunity to go into middle schools and high schools across 4 different counties. Now, DCO operates within Middle Tennessee and down into Alabama as well. And there are teams scattered throughout, but Christy and I get to operate here locally in the middle schools and high schools, educating students on just how to be healthy, how to have a healthy life with medically accurate information so that as they're walking through life, as they're figuring out what that looks like, they get to choose for themselves what that life looks like. They're very capable of that. We want them to understand how valuable they are in the choices that they're making, that they do get to choose. They don't have to follow in somebody else's footsteps. They don't have to not understand those long-term consequences, that they just have the facts and the information.
So hold on a second, because when we're talking about this type of stuff, you got a lot of people who might be tuning in and saying, wait, you're talking to my kids about what? Now, let me ask you this, because the immediate question that comes to mind for me and for a lot of parents is, if you're going to come in and talk to my kids about this, who is funding your curriculum? Where are you getting the money from? Because a lot of the times you have organizations who are getting money from the state or from the government, and they're told how and what they need to talk about, and that might not necessarily be something that people in our community are comfortable with.
Well, we are a 501c3. We are funded through generous donations from our donors. We did at one time operate under a state grant, but the state started wanting us to add things that we did not agree with, different genders and things on our pre and post tests, and we walked away from it. We were like, nope, that's not us. We are all about truth, and our donors would not want us to be doing that. So we are funded from donations, local donations. So we really appreciate you donors out there.
So, and I'm looking at the flyer in front of me. What is the core of the so where do you draw the core of this conversation from? And specifically what I'm referring to is there is a Bible quote in here.
Yes. So we are a ministry. Okay, obviously we cannot quote scripture in
Right.
public schools.
Right.
So, which is why we love coming into your churches, because we can do that there. In our churches, we can show where scripture backs up what we're teaching in the public schools, which comes from an optimal health model. We are not there in public schools telling me. I had a student one time say, so, okay, you're here to tell us that sex is bad, right? And I said, no. And they're like, okay, you're going to tell us not to have, I'm like, no. And the teacher was a new teacher that I hadn't had before. And the teacher kind of like sat up a little straighter, like, uh-oh, maybe this isn't what I thought. And then, and I looked and I said, no. I said, I am going to explain to you and show you why sex outside of marriage is not a healthy choice for you. We're going to talk about health. This is not about morals or anything like that. We want you to be healthy. We don't want you to have regret. When you look back on your life, we don't want you to have regret from decisions that you made when you were younger. Like so many of my friends have. It's like, no, we want you to make good, healthy choices now moving forward and look back and go, yeah, I did that right. I'm good with that.
So this is very interesting to me because you guys are having conversations with kids, but really your interaction with them probably only lasts so long. It can only go so far. What about the parent aspect of it? Because I feel like if you're used to having these tough conversations with the kids, maybe you can give some guidance to the parents as far as how to handle stuff like this and better equip them as well as the kids.
So I love talking to parents. We do parent powers, and when I'm going into a school, I always offer the schools a parent presentation, because I think as a parent, I would want to know, what exactly are you telling my kids? So I love going in, because parents come in, when they do come, they're very concerned, like I said, what exactly are you saying? And then I will go through the whole program, what I'm going to talk to their students about. I'll show them the slides, and
Right.
This is what we're going to say. And I'll tell them conversation can, depending on the kids' comments and questions,
Right.
because I'm going to be honest with them. But I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. Parents always leave going, oh, this is nothing like what I thought it was.
Right.
Nothing. And they're texting their friends that are planning to opt their kids out of our program. They're like, no, you want them to have this. You want them to have this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love talking to parents. Unfortunately, when I offer parent presentations at the schools, they're not very well attended.
Yeah.
So, there might be a couple that show up. I've offered some where no parents have showed up. So
Wow.
But I really, really like talking to parents about this, because we don't want to be the only ones talking to their kids about this. We want them to be talking about it with their kids too. Like, they're the biggest influencer
Right.
in their children. And so hopefully we're all telling them the same things.
Well, and I'm seeing this, again, we're joined by Christy Shaw and Kelly Payne with Decisions, Choices, and Options. And I'm seeing some of this paperwork on parent power and these programs. Be a teacher, be accessible, be approachable. And there's QR codes, and it says Parent Toolkit. So again, not only is it that you're providing information, but you're providing resources as well, Ms. Kelly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So our Parent Power program, we go into churches or homeschool groups or just women's groups, parent groups, and it is a 1 hour, 3 sessions, just educating the parents on what their children are dealing with in today's world. A lot of times we don't know as parents what our kids are dealing with. And we know how important these conversations are, that these hard conversations aren't just a one and done, which is why Christy and I, when we do go into the schools, we start in 7th grade and we end in 12th grade. We go through these programs with all of the students.
Wow.
We want our parents to do the same thing. We want our parents to understand the obstacles that our children are facing in today's world, and we want them to be able to be that first on the front line talking to their own kids about life. about hard choices, about the facts, about the information. And so we like to go in and we like to educate the parents on just what the kids are dealing with, specifically with the media world, the social media world, and how they can establish some boundaries with their kids, setting those boundaries early, being consistent with those boundaries, and watching that relationship flourish.
I think that, growing up, it's one of those things, as a boy, my father kind of had the quote unquote talk with me. It was very short, very uncomfortable, very weird. And those are the words that I would use to describe it. And that's pretty much all that I remember. And it was like, don't, basically. It was
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
But what it comes back to, and really what I think is interesting, is it wasn't that his heart wasn't in the right place, but it was that he wasn't equipped. He didn't have the tools, he didn't have the knowledge necessarily, or he didn't know how to verbalize it and communicate it to me.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking at some of your information, and it talks about things like not just from a health standpoint and all that, but issues that could affect long-term economical challenges for a child or for a young family if something were to happen. And there are so many things that just on the information that you guys have given me that I had not even ever considered or hadn't been brought to my attention prior to me engaging in these type of activities for the first time when I was a younger person. Because again, it's a maturity thing. It's the way that the world is, all of these things. It's just, we don't know because it's kind of taboo to talk about.
Absolutely.
But you guys work in that zone. How do you take that weird, all those adjectives that I used to describe it, the weird, uncomfortable, all that type of stuff. How do you kind of try and pull that out of it and reach these kids?
Well, I think it goes to like the comfortability of anything. The more you do it, the more you talk about things, the more you're engaged in it, the easier it becomes. I mean, even y'all are sports radio. I mean, even in sports-ish, y'all, our athletes, they didn't just wake up one day and know how to shoot a three-pointer or things like that. Like, that took time and that took effort. And it's the same with these conversations, pulling that taboo out. My story was the same. I mean, as a teenager, my birth control growing up was don't do it. And, I was terrified of what that would look like. And so I was like, okay. But, just like your parents, my parents, they didn't necessarily, it's not that they didn't know, or they didn't.
Well, they were uncomfortable.
They were uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so it's the more that we have these little conversations about it when it comes to starting with the building process of having those healthy relationships, being a healthy person, it starts there. If we ourselves individually are healthy, we attract those healthy people to us, whether it's in friendships or dating or marriage partners or coworkers or whatever that aspect looks like for relationships. And so it's understanding that foundation of being a healthy person within yourself and having those conversations to take that uncomfortability away. The more we talk about it, the easier it is to talk about. The more we engage with our youth, with our parents, with the community about this topic and this conversation, the easier the more normal it is going to be to have these conversations, so that when our children grow, they're not looking back going, well, I didn't know that, or if everybody is talking about it in a healthy manner, understanding that their health and their successful future is what the end goal is, the most important thing is, and having these conversations, that takes away that uncomfortability, that taboo.
We're talking to Miss Christy Shaw and Miss Kelly Payne with Decisions, Choices, and Options. And when we come back, we're going to talk to them about Joy Wassel, who is the founder of the organization, and her vision for this thing. And then, too, you guys have an upcoming event that we will get into as well. In the meantime, I want to tell you about something that's going on over at Backstage Pawn. If you've got a tax refund coming in, I encourage you to head on over there and check them out. They're right here off the square in Winchester. They've got their deal of the week going on right now, which is 10% off all knives in stock, including some really cool brands. Go check out their case inventory, and they've always got new inventory coming in as well as some unique trade-ins and other things like that. And they also buy gold and silver, so you could even walk out of there with some cash in hand. It's Backstage Pawn, again, just off the square on South College Street. Back on the other side with more from decisions, choices, and options here on the starting lineup, fueled by Loco Coffee.
Happy Millionaires Day to you. Happy Millionaires Day to you. Happy Millionaires Day, dear Tennessee lottery player. Happy Millionaires Day to you and many more. Want the chance to celebrate $1 million win again and again? Play the Millionaire for Life game from the Tennessee Lottery. With drawings every day, you could win $1 million a year for life. Talk about a gift that never gets old. Millionaire for Life from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly.
Out with the cold, in with the comfort. Refresh your home with Hall Furniture in Winchester. From stylish living room sets to cozy recliners and dining pieces made for gathering, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Quality, comfort, and pieces you'll love coming home to. That's Hall Furniture. Visit them at 3131 Deckard Boulevard in Winchester or browse anytime at hallfurniture.com. Hall Furniture. Make your home feel brand new.
Whether you need a quick fix or you got a full-on project, the team at Poultry Electric and Pro Hardware has you covered. From electrical and plumbing supplies to Makita power tools, Benjamin Moore paints, lawn and garden gear, and dependable appliances. They carry the brands you trust with service that treats you like family. Serving Franklin County for over 35 years, they're your local hardware experts and proud supporters of Franklin County sports. Located on Sharp Springs Road in Winchester and online at poultryelectric.com.
It's time for a local news break from the 931 Go News Center.
The FCHS Rebel Pride Band is inviting the community to its spring concert on Thursday, April 9th at 6 p.m. in the Franklin County High School Auditorium. This free concert will feature student musicians showcasing their hard work and preparation from the spring semester. Donations will be accepted at the door to support the band program. Community members are encouraged to attend and support the talented students as they take the stage for an evening of music. In other school news, Franklin County Schools are celebrating Assistant Principal Appreciation Week. District leaders are recognizing assistant principals across the middle schools, high school, and Huntland for their daily commitment to students and staff. Honorees include Dr. K and Mr. Davis at North Middle, Mr. Dawson at South Middle, Miss Spray and Mr. Carr at Huntland, and Mr. Cowan, Mr. Gilmore, and Mr. Conroy at Franklin County High School. Officials say assistant principals play a vital role in supporting instruction, maintaining school culture, and ensuring student success. Meanwhile, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is continuing to warn residents about ongoing scams targeting our community. Officials report an increase in phone calls and text messages claiming to be from law enforcement or government agencies. Scammers may threaten arrest for missed jury duty, unpaid fines, warrants, or traffic violations and demand immediate payment. The Sheriff's Office reminds residents that deputies will never call and request money. Citizens are urged not to share personal or banking information, not to send money under pressure, and to be cautious of anyone demanding urgent or confidential action. Anyone who believes they may have been targeted by a scam is encouraged to contact the Franklin County Sheriff's Office. Authorities also ask residents to share scam alerts to help protect others in the community. For more local news and updates, visit 931go.com. Stay informed and stay connected to your community with ESPN Radio Winchester.
When it comes to caring for your loved ones, choose a name you can trust. Inhabit Home Health in Winchester, located at 2068 Cowan Highway. We're here to provide compassionate professional care right in the comfort of your own home. From skilled nursing to therapy services, our team is dedicated to helping you or your loved ones achieve the best quality of life. Call Inhabit Home Health today at 931-967-0633 to learn more about our personalized care plans.
The opinions of the hosts are their own, and they do not represent the opinions of, well, really anybody else. You're listening to the starting lineup. Now back to Joe and Chewy.
Back here on the starting lineup, ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester. It is a Therapy Thursday. I'm going to need some therapy after the last couple of days. that all being said, I'm also going to need some therapy for the color that I'm wearing today. Yes, I am dressed up in Tennessee Vols orange because of the bet that I lost. I'm a man of my word, and here I am in all of my glory. Also, Brett Crabtree, you're out of control. Stop sending me pictures of myself dressed up in Vols gear, holding up like Vols #1 signs and all that stuff. I know where to find you. In studio with us this morning, the ladies from Decisions, Choices, and Options, Miss Kelly Payne and Miss Christy Shaw. Ladies, thank you so much for taking time to join us this morning. And we've had some good conversation early on about what you do, what your goal is, and the conversations that you go into the schools and have, not just with the children, but with the parents as well. Again, trying to give them tools and resources in regard to sexual avoidance and all of these really tough, awkward conversations that adults have to have with their children. At least they're tough and they're awkward if you're not equipped. But you guys are very well equipped, and it was Miss Joy Wassel, the founder of the program, who I am assuming this is her vision from back in the day. But talk a little bit about her and this program and how it all got started.
So back in 2002-ish time frame, Joy's best friend's daughter got pregnant in high school. And she was making an adoption plan. And she was bullied terribly for her adoption plan. I believe she ended up not making that adoption plan, and she chose parenting because she got so much pushback. Well, Joy herself is an adoptive mom, and she was kind of like, wait a minute now. Why is everybody saying adoption's a bad thing? And so seeing way back then the just the prevalence of sexual activity amongst teenagers, and that nobody was talking to them about the decisions that they were making and how they could have lifelong consequences. So she birthed Decisions, Choices, and Options to go into schools. She was a teacher herself in the Hendersonville area. And she said, no one's talking to these kids. We need to talk to them about how their decisions can affect their lives, and that they don't have to do something just because everyone else is doing it. And if something does happen, there are more than two options out there. Okay. A lot of them thought, okay, well, you either parent or have an abortion. And she's like, no, there's another option that can be a really, really good option for everyone. It's not an option for everyone, but it can be a good option for all the people involved,
right?
Depending on the support that the teenager has at home, financial support, emotional support, someone to stay home and take care of the baby while they at least finish high school. Because unfortunately, only about half of the teen moms who choose parenting actually graduate from high school.
Right.
So that number has gone up a little bit because now we have, where they can do school virtually and everything, but it's still a lot to take care of a baby.
Right.
Like, I think all of us that are parents, we know that it's a lot. So I can only imagine how difficult it would be taking care of a baby and trying to go to school.
Yeah.
And maybe working a part-time job and maybe trying to make this, teenage relationship work.
Right.
Like, it's a lot.
Well, especially in the world today that we live in. I mean, not just from the stigma maybe 50, 60, 70 years ago to the now we've got our own set of challenges where it takes two incomes in most households to make it work, right? And if you're a young lady who never finished high school and now you've also got a young family and like that is a challenge that it's hard enough. That is a challenge that seems almost insurmountable in my mind. Now, all that being said, traditionally when I think of sexual avoidance for youth, what I think of is kind of like the scare tactic, the fear tactic, and all that type of stuff. I don't get that kind of feeling when I talk to the two of you. Now, I do think that there is a certain level of that where, it could be really, really bad depending on. But it doesn't seem like that's the tactic that you guys lean into.
It's funny that you say that because we just finished up a school yesterday, and we do pre and post tests. So at the beginning of our presentation, they fill out a pre-test with different questions about the things that we're going to talk about, whether they know it or not. And that's how our program collects the data that's in those little brochures that you have, so that we can see if we're making a difference or not. And on the post test, on the back of it, they have like free responses where they can put their thoughts, views, and opinions down about the program.
Right.
And one of the comments yesterday was, the question was, what did you like best about the Life Choices program, which is the name of our freshman program? And his comment was, I liked that. How did he word that? I liked that they didn't scare us, that it wasn't a scare tactic. They just wanted to inform us with life information so that we can choose. So that was really cool to hear that.
Well, and to what it seems like is we talk about the founding of this organization, and we consider the fact that it happened in and around the 2002 time frame. That's pre-iPhone, pre all of that.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. How do you manage the, I wouldn't say the advancements, the technological advancements in sexual activity, but it does play the whole sexting and all that type of stuff. That is a whole new dynamic that is now incorporated into, because if a young person takes photos or something like that, there are things that they may think of as innocuous or small things that could be, again, life-altering, and it can go back to an instant where a bad decision is made or they don't think about the consequences. And again, this is a whole nother realm. It's not just about getting pregnant anymore. It's about things getting out there that live forever.
Yes. We educate on that. And, you said bad decision. I don't really like that word. They're impulsive at this age. I mean, their brains aren't fully developed. We know that. Their brains aren't fully developed until their mid-20s, and it's that impulsivity. It's that understanding how the decisions they make today really do impact their future.
Yeah.
And so in middle school, we spend an entire day talking about the dangers of social media. We walk them through cyberbullying and sexual predators and sexting and pornography. We talk about those dangers. We talk about those outcomes, and we help them to put those boundaries in place to protect them from that. In high school, we also go over sexting and pornography and how damaging that can be, not just for their relationship health, but for their future careers, for their future college experiences, because they don't understand. They think that if they use Snapchat or any other app, that in 20 seconds this image is gone.
Right.
But we all leave a digital footprint every single day, and so we help them to understand that this can be life-changing. College admissions offices, they're looking at all their profiles. Human resources offices from employers, they're looking at all of this. And, one of my favorite things to tell them now is, even think further than college and career. Think about your future family. What is that impact going to look like if future family sees that? If your children see that in 10, 20 years, what's that going to do? What is the impact? One of my favorite things that we actually teach on is the ripple effect. And we do that in the freshman classes, 9th grade, how sometimes we make decisions that are small, that have zero impact on us or anybody else. And sometimes that ripple is huge. It affects not just us, but people around us, and can be long-term too. And that's one of the things that we talk about with the social media, with this, what'd you call it, advancement in technology. We do.
I don't know. I say stuff. I don't remember what I said.
We'll watch it later. It's fine. Yeah. We'll watch it later and get the little catchphrase there. But yeah, we do. We want them to understand that every decision they make now has a direct impact on their future self.
Yeah.
Big or small.
Hear that, Chewy?
Big or small.
I'm not 100% what this conversation is about.
Chewy still hasn't. You mentioned like mid-20s is where they mature. Chewy still has not hit that mark.
It's younger or older, depending. The situation dictates always, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So my the other thing is, and my question, in regard to. Sorry, I just read this question. I just read a comment from Brett Crabtree, and I completely lost my train of thought. My question in regard to, what was it in regard to?
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right.
Moving on.
Let me shift gears. I'll think of it here in about 2 seconds. as far as you guys coming in today, there is an event coming up here in the next couple of weeks. I want to take some time to talk about that. It's Hope for Their Future dinner, and you guys are hosting it over at the Oaklawn Baptist Church. Now, we mentioned, I remember what I was going to say. Quick pause on this, and I'll come back to the event. If you've got questions for Miss Kelly or Miss Christie, now is the time. This is a tremendous opportunity to use the FMO Facebook feed. If you've got questions, these are ladies who are dealing directly with your children in the school. And so use the FMO Facebook feed for something constructive, unlike Brett, who wants me to apparently autograph. Hey, maybe what we need to do is I need to autograph this shirt or have Chewy autograph, and I know what you guys really care about. We'll have Chewy autograph the shirt, and then we will raffle it off and give the money to Decisions, Choices, and Options. But I'm going to have to probably take out the cost of the shirt and give it back to Johnny because I'm pretty sure it's his shirt. Anyway, get into the chat if you have any questions. I would really appreciate that, and I'm sure that they would love to communicate with parents directly.
Yes, 100%.
But ladies, this dinner that's coming up, the Hope for Their Future, that you're hosting on April 30th, which is a Thursday night, 6:30 p.m. over at Oaklawn Baptist Church. We mentioned the fact that you guys are funded by donors completely.
Yes.
There is no outside narrative coming in from the state, no on high from the government, no nothing that tells you what has to be in your programming. And so you're able to, whether people like it or not, I like it, you're able to cling to those gospel principles and let those guide you, allow those to guide you in how you're preparing these children for life.
Can I interject on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so our entire curriculum from 7th grade through 12th grade, it is 100% founded on biblical principles. However, each of our programs cover so many state standards within the Tennessee Education Department that we are able to go in. That is one of the reasons why we are able to go in, because we are covering so many state standards as well. It's not just a biblical blueprint for a healthy life. It's the standards that the government has put on our students and our teachers, and we're just able to fill that gap. So
yes, I've had a teacher tell me, she said, I so much appreciate y'all coming in here. She said, y'all teach in 3 days what would take me at least 2 weeks to cover in class. She said, y'all cover all of this in 3 days. So
I just wanted to throw that out
there.
And well, and to that point, there's a level of concern for people who aren't believers, who aren't religious. They might be saying, "Well, I don't want you coming in and saying certain things and reading scripture and this, that, and the other thing to my kids." And you had mentioned it because it's done within the school. Again, we're talking about the principles of the conversation, not the conversation itself. Technically, you guys cannot talk to them about the gospel. What you're using is in order to frame the conversation about what a good choice looks like, or whether or not you like that term. I know you didn't like when I said bad choices.
Healthy choices.
There we go. Healthy choices. You use the gospel to kind of frame those discussions.
For sure.
For people who are concerned. So switching gears back to this event now. No, it's good. So this is a very important event for you all, I am assuming, and it goes back to ensuring that you have the funding that you need to do what you're doing. But talk a little bit about the event that's coming up on April 30th.
So April 30th, like you said, at Oaklawn Baptist Church, we will be there just talking about what we do in the schools. We will likely share some stories from the classroom, some impact stories. It's so great when we hear after the fact. We have our pre and our post test, but what I really love is just being out in the community and somebody recognizes us and says, hey, you came and talked to us, and because you came and talked to us, I made this decision, or I changed this about what I was doing. Even some of the things that I don't think are even like that big a deal that we talk about, healthy and unhealthy friendships, they've stopped me and said, wow, I was miserable last year. I was miserable. My friendships were all toxic, and I didn't realize that until you talked to me. And now I walked away from those friends. I have a totally different friend group now, and I'm so much better. I'm so happier, and I'm like, wow. And then Mom standing behind her, nodding her head, saying, yeah, thank you. So at our dinner, people will hear these kinds of stories and things, and just how we came about, and the necessity of having our programs in the schools, because a lot of them, their parents and other adults in their life, they're not talking to them about these things. So they're learning things on TikTok or whatever, not necessarily the best places to be hearing truth.
Right.
So we will have our program. We'll have an ask. It's completely free. The dinner is free. We do ask that people let us know, because we need to make sure we have enough food for everyone from our caterer. So we'll have our program, and at the end of the evening, we'll have an ask where we just ask whatever the Lord leads them to give. And if they don't feel led to give, like, that's okay. If they just came and learned about us, that's great. At least now they know, like, who we are and what we're doing. And we do hope that they will give, but that's between, them and the Lord, because I'm a big believer in the widow's mite. Like, some have lots to give, some have not as much to give, but the Lord can use that, like that little bit that someone has, in a big way.
So you're asking folks to register no later than April 16th, like you said, so that you can prepare and make sure that you got enough for everybody that's going to come out. For folks who want to learn more, there is a URL, dcoinc.org. And also you can go to dcoinc.org/events to learn more about this specific event. And I know that we've gone over, we got some folks calling in for, it's fine, we got some folks calling in for Reliable Rentals Swap and Shop. They want us to move along because they've got stuff that they want to sell. But this is a conversation that we're gonna finish up correctly. We're gonna get the time that it deserves. So we'll bear with us. We'll be there in a second. But all right, so again, April 30th, 6:30 p.m. is the event. It's over at Oak Lawn Baptist Church, which is located at 108 Memorial Drive. The great sponsor of ours as well. We appreciate them. And ladies, if they have questions, if they have concerns, or if they want to learn more about the organization, would you recommend that they start at that website, the dcoinc.org?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they absolutely can start there. There is a ton of information on there. They can also contact us. I gave you my card for that, especially for Parent Power or Design for More, which is a youth program for our students as well that parents can take into the home or into homeschool groups or youth groups. And so they can contact me via email. They can contact Christy via email. We can leave those for you before we leave here today.
And if you contact me directly, I don't know, this looks like she's got your cell phone on it. I don't know if you want me to broadcast that out there, but what I was going to say is if folks are interested and want more information on this, if you contact us at the station, whether it be through the Facebook page or however you can get a hold of us, I have Miss Kelly's information, and I can share that with you, like she said. Or you can email her, and I can put out her email address. I'll do that. It's kelly@dcoinc.org. It's as simple as that. Ladies, is there anything before we wrap things up that we have not covered that you wanted to mention this morning?
I was just going to say how important it is for us to be in these communities. I had a student in Grundy County one time ask me, she looked at me, she said, why do you come here and talk to us? And I said, well, I'm really passionate about this. I really want young people to make good, healthy decisions while they're young and not have regret about the decisions that they've made in their youth. And she said, wow. And she said, thank you for coming. She said, she said, in Grundy County, she said, we're the poorest county in the state. She said, nobody comes here to talk to us. She said, but you've come here 3 times to talk to us. And she said, that really means a lot to me. Yeah. And she said, I just want to thank you because what you bring is so important. She said, my friends and I, we need to know all of the things that you come here to teach us. And so it is really important, especially I feel like in our communities, because there aren't many outsiders coming in talking to them about making healthy decisions. I wish there were lots and lots of organizations coming in discussing the importance of making healthy choices. Unfortunately, there's not.
Right.
Well, and that's what I was going to say too, just the community, just getting the community involved, from parents to teachers to you guys here at the radio station to coaches and pastors, and just all of us coming together collectively, sharing the same information, sharing the truth with our children so that they can grow and be healthy and successful adults.
It is, the organization is Decisions, Choices, and Options, and again, dcoinc.org. And again, the mission statement: to empower all youth with sexual risk avoidance education by providing medically accurate programs that guide them to optimal health in every area of their lives. Miss Kelly Payne, Miss Christy Shaw, I appreciate you both so much for coming in this morning. And if you or your parent group or your church group want more information on this, I know that you guys do presentations as well. The Parent Power Program, it can actually come out to your church and make a presentation at your church. And I've actually sat through that presentation, and it is tremendous. They do a great job with it. I would highly recommend it, especially if you've got a close family group like that, where you lean on people. You know, you have these relationships, you have these friends, these family friends, and all that type of stuff. And if you've got the opportunity to kind of come together and all be on the same page and all learn something, and your kids are spending a lot of time together and stuff like that, man, this is a great opportunity to bring them in and to have this information shared among the adults to, again, take some of the awkwardness, some of the weirdness out of the conversation, and empower not only your kids but you as well for their future and for their own. So, ladies, thank you so much for the work that you do, for going into our schools and for having these tough conversations like you do, and answering, I'm sure, a interesting group of questions that you probably get each and every day from the kids.
That's a nice way of putting it. That's a nice way of putting it. Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
No, we really appreciate you. Okay, so I've gone 7 minutes over the top of the hour, which means that it's not your problem. What I was going to say is I've worn this Tennessee gear 7 minutes longer than I hoped to, so we're going to take a quick break here. I'm going to go light myself on fire in the other room, and we'll come back with a Reliable Rentals swap and shop after this with Chewy. This has been the starting lineup, powered by Loco Coffee. ESPN Radio 1340 1069 WCDT Winchester.
Kind of increasing his minutes, but I also feel like you took